Hello everyone, today I have another tutorial for you, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make foil peels and do foil peel alters on your cards such as this one and this one, as well as covering some other methods of card altering that you can do. But if you're just trying to get straight to the tutorial, I will leave a link to it here. Alright, so here are a few examples of card alters that I found around my house. And there's a few different kinds here. So the first one, which I'm not too familiar with, as I'm sure you could tell, I made this 5 minutes ago and it looks like I didn't let the paint dry long enough. But this is what you would call an alter sleeve. And sometimes stores sell these and they're printed on, which is a lot better than chalk markers and whatnot. But you basically just put the design on a sleeve and draw it around it, and then you don't actually end up ruining the card. Then you have actual card alters that involve directly painting on the card. This was done by one of my friends who's a painter. Stuff like this blows me away, seeing paint alters on the card. If you can do it correctly, it can end up looking amazing. The sky is the limit with these, but it's a little more involved and involves having actual artistic talent, so I personally stay away from these. And then the main focus of today's video, foil peels. This is where you take the art of a foil card and you do the process to peel it off, and then you put that foil layer piece onto another card of yours, and in addition to that, this Kess has a stroke of acetone across it to wash off the foiling itself. That's pretty simple. It was just a Q-tip with acetone on this card because it was already foiled. But generally, you don't even need the card itself to be foiled. For example, this Cody, which I had quite the bit of fun with, was just a regular card with the foil bits glued on. To start off with, you're going to need an X-Acto knife. You'll need a glue stick that dries clear. You will need the foil cards that you are going to be peeling, and a bowl of water, a bucket, or something to submerge the foil peels in. And then lastly, the card that you wish to be altering. Now, I would start off with a card that you don't really care about or something not very valuable, like this basic. In terms of picking out the cards that you're going to be doing the foil peels on, just pick ones out to you that seem interesting, like if you want to cut out this angel and put it onto something, or if you have an idea of the theme that you're going with for your main card, pick something out that might go along with that, like if you want to cut out these elves and put them on the forest. So the first step, after you've picked out which cards you want to use, is just to drop them in and just let them soak for, I would say, at least 30 minutes to an hour. Honestly, the longer you let them sit, the easier it's going to be to peel and the cleaner that it's going to come off in the end. So if you want to set them overnight and then try it in the morning, that's a good idea. Not nearly done yet, but just a quick checkup. It's only been a few minutes, and as you can see, the layers are already starting to separate out. Alright, it's been about an hour now. I've showered, I've refilmed the intro a couple of times, so now we should be about ready to peel these. Again, the longer you leave them to soak, the cleaner that they'll peel away. For the purposes of this video, let's just see how this fares. So you want to get just the foil layer and not this bit of paper that's on here, because that'll make it thicker and harder to glue on and adhere to the card. So you can actually just wipe away the last bit of paper with your thumb and try and just leave the foiling that you want on there. When you're doing this, you want to try not to crease any of the foiling, but for the sake of practice, it doesn't really matter. I have two done here that I've tried my best to separate the foil layer from the paper on. I like to do this while it's still wet. That way it kind of sticks to the surface better. So I'm just gonna begin to cut out the part of the card that I want. I left in this clip of me working on cutting out the foil peel just to say that, you know, it's only art and it's meant to be fun and creative, and it's okay if you mess up, and you can see in this clip how much I'm struggling to get it done right, and I've done it a few times and I still messed up. But you know, you're still improving and you're still getting better, and a lot of the small mistakes that you make won't even matter to other people, and you might actually end up liking later on in the process. So, you know, really just don't be afraid to make mistakes. Now, some really easy edits that I think end up looking really nice are just to take a random bit with a pretty uniform color. You could kind of see how that looks across the edge of the card. Trim that down a little more. To apply it, you really just make sure it's all covered in glue. Kind of drag it exactly to where you want it. And if there's an awkward little bit hanging off, you can just take a pair of scissors like that to the end of it and try and make sure that it's really on as tightly as possible so it doesn't curl up. Okay, so now that we have the corners done, we can start to apply the main man here. And since it's just a basic land, I'm actually gonna take the bottom part here and just plop it right on like that. So this is my finished foil forest peel. As you can see, it still goes into an inner sleeve. It will still go into a regular sleeve just fine. There's no difference in thickness. Could it have been a little better or neater? Yes, but hopefully this is just enough to give you guys a good idea of how it's done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was a worthwhile tutorial, and if it was, if you could please like and subscribe, that would be very helpful for the channel. And also leave a comment on anything else you want me to do a tutorial of. Shiny with a texture feeling. You could take a room score demon and cover it in automotive.